All right, guys. Well, I'm going to mute out the lines and we are going to get the call started here this morning or this afternoon, depending on where you are in the country. And we're so excited to have our two guest speakers on here today. And, they're going to really dive into the opportunity in the wireless industry, obviously specifically Flash Mobile, and the magnitude of what kind of opportunity there is for you and I to really capitalize on one of the biggest and fastest growing industries in the world. And, the first individual that I get a chance to bring up here today, we got a lot in common. Both of us actually used to live in the Philadelphia area. Many of you guys know that I used to own a bunch of Nextel wireless stores for many years. And this individual actually is from the Nextel Sprint side originally as well on the corporate level. But not only is he the director of wireless for all of ACN, he's also somebody like you and I that's gone out and built as a field representative, meaning his wife is a regional vice president with ACN. They had actually regional vice president platinum with ACN. They had massive success, in the field with Connect and Stream. And, when that partnership came together with Stream and Connect, ACN actually brought him on board in-house just based on his in-depth knowledge and his vision and what was going on in the wireless industry. So today, his family is in the field. He's also on the corporate side. He's a friend, and he's given us his time here today. So everybody, please help me welcome the director of wireless for all of ACN, Mr. Greg Savage. Thank you so much for being on our call today, buddy.
Hey, Jeff, thank you. I appreciate the tee up there. Yeah, it's been a great ride since I've come on board. Officially July 9th, I think it was, when I stepped into the role of director of wireless here at ACN. And Jeff, if you remember, that was literally 2 weeks, I think, after we launched. 10 days, 11 days, I think it was. We launched Flash Mobile as our flagship mobile product on June 28th of 2021. And I was kind of thrown into this role on July 9th, 2 weeks or 10 days, 11 days later, whatever that is. So it's been an unbelievable ride. We've come a long way. We've done a lot. We're growing exponentially, and it's all because of you people in the field. So it has been a good deal for us. So, and yes, we have a lot in common, don't we? Right? I started with Nextel, so I've got over 20 years wireless experience. Nextel originally became Sprint. Sprint is now T-Mobile. If everybody didn't know that is the case. And T-Mobile is where we are partnered here at Flash Mobile. That is the network we drive all of our traffic off of. All of our data, voice, and text is on the T-Mobile network nationwide. So couldn't be a better place to be. Jeff, I'll get right into it because I know I got a lot to cover. I'm going to share my screen. I think you guys gave me controls. I want to walk you guys all through, if you will, a lot of the, what we've got as far as an opportunity here, because I think it's important that you see it. Jeff, tell me you can see my home screen there. Just excellent. So what I really want to do is cast a vision for everybody on this call, because here at ACN we have a lot of things that we do, right? We're about essential services. That's the bottom line, right? That keeps it really simple. These are services for the most part that everybody uses, everybody has. They're never going to do away with it, no matter what the economy's doing. These are things that don't get cut out of people's budgets, right? But there's a lot of them. I think there's like 14, 15 different things we're doing, more things that we're going to roll out. And my point in this is to show you that I think Flash Mobile wireless should be a lead product in your portfolio. What you should be out there talking about with every single person you're talking to, right? About doing the business and about becoming your customer, right? And Flash Mobile, again, because of the statistics that I love to share every time I'm on stage or talking to a group of people in a large capacity, and maybe some of you have seen the presentation, I'm going to get into a little bit more, but I always love to lead with this slide because I think it is absolutely important that you understand the size and scope of this opportunity, right? We're talking total population of 332 million people in the US, and there's more phones. That's what this slide really means. There's more connections than there are people. You can't say that about energy. You can't say that about any other service that we have, because when you look at a single household, there could be up to 6 to 10 devices in a single household. You cannot have 6 to 10 meters unless you've got, 50,000 square foot home, right? But that's not everybody. And there's limited markets for energy. I use that as just an illustration because people do energy a lot in our business and make an awful lot of money with energy with such a limited area, right? We're not in every state. And even within states, there's co-ops. This is every state, 332 million people, more connections than there are people, and everybody has a cell phone. Everybody has one. Yeah, it says 95% of Americans do. I laugh at that stat every time I see it because I'm not quite sure who those 5% are. Where are they? Where do they live? I mean, it's like, who are these people? I've never come across them. If you're on the call and you don't have a cell phone, please drop it in the chat and let us know if you're bold enough to do so, right? But that is the fact. It is that essential. No one's doing away with their cell phone. And 89% of the people say they couldn't live without it, right? So it's truly essential. And then when you look at the market share of the three main carriers, the message here is really, those are the networks, right? There's other little regional networks, but for the most part in the US today, those three carriers, Verizon, T-Mobile, and AT&T, they've built the networks that all wireless traffic travels off of, right? And all these other carriers out there like Boost or Virgin or Metro PCS or Cricket or Mint Mobile, they're all on one of those three networks. And that's who we are at Flash Mobile. We're driving our traffic off of the T-Mobile network, right smack in the middle there. T-Mobile has the second most subscriber share in the market, and they're growing rapidly because of that acquisition of Sprint. And that's where we are driving our traffic here at Flash Mobile. So we're on the largest, fastest growing nationwide 5G, 4G LTE network that is out there today. It's a good place to be. So that's what we have as far as an opportunity, right? It works. It's great. We're partnering with a great network, and we have an unbelievable opportunity across the US to really drive our residual through the roof, right? That's why we're in this business. That's why we do this, so that we get paid every single month when our customers pay their bills. And as far as compensation is concerned, it's significant. We've got a technically double point promotion. You can see it there. It has been running since our launch. I don't see this going away anytime soon. When you get a customer on board in a certain amount of lines, you're getting a certain amount of qualified points in your business. And if you understand our compensation plan, you'll know what the value of that is. Everybody should be driving towards at least 75 personal customer points so that you can maximize your pay potential here, right? And there's a quick way to ride up that ladder with Flash Mobile. Every 6-line account, 10 points. Every 4-line account, 8 points. You can imagine how you can accumulate that quickly. When you look at the commissionable values, they're high, 80% or 65%, depending on the plan type. You're getting that much percentage of their monthly recurring charge every time they pay their bill, right? And then the life of the customer. What does this mean? Not all of our services here at ACN are permanent, meaning as long as the customer is with us and paying, you're getting paid. And the customer loyalty life cycle in wireless is 6 years usually before they're jumping around to carriers on average, right? So you get a good customer, it's working for them, you're getting paid a lot, and you're getting paid as long as they keep paying us. And that's indefinite, right? Where a lot of our other products, it's a limited run of 2 years, and then you don't have that anymore, right? So tremendous flagship product that you should be leading with. Let me show you, just to give you a little bit of a vision. This is the new thing. I haven't shared this with a lot of people out there. I've been running numbers just to give people an idea of what you can earn when you focus on Flash Mobile. And this is just Flash Mobile. Remember, we have all these other services. That just adds more to your potential residual. But if you were looking at just Flash Mobile, this is what you're looking at, our personal compensation. So this is you going out and acquiring the customer yourself, right? We know we build teams of people. That's how you get paid the most, by building an organization and getting a percentage of all the customers that comes into it. But before I get there, let's just look at what your personal efforts can deliver for you. So here's your personal compensation. You know, if you understand our comp plan, that IBOs, you're an IBO, can earn anywhere from 3 to 20% of that commissionable revenue I just showed you. Anywhere from 3 to 20% of what that commissionable revenue is. So a single line account, all right, can pay you $1.08 a month, as low as $1.08 a month. That's at the lowest 3%, as high as $9.10. That's at the highest of 20% for every single customer account that you enroll. Now, Jeff, I like to tell people, they look at that number and you think, well, that doesn't look like a whole lot. Oh, it's a whole lot. I use this illustration. I used it the other night. if you were selling, and this is kind of morbid, so bear with me. If you were selling toilets for a living, okay, would you rather get paid $1,000 for every toilet you sell or 5 cents every time they flush the toilet? Right? Think about what that means. That 5 cents is much more valuable to you over the course of time, no question, than a one-time payment of $1,000. And that's what we are in this business for, to get a piece of every time a customer pays their bill. And as you grow that customer base, it can become significant. So as low as $1 rate, as high as 9.10 on a single line account, not multi-line, single line account. Multi-line accounts, you could earn as much as $1.68 for every multi-line customer, and as high as $24 a month every month when they pay their bill, right? That's huge. Let's look at team compensation for a minute, right? As you're building an organization, I just showed you just your personal effort. As you're building an organization, you have a minimum of 75 customer points that you want to get to so that you can earn all 5 levels that ACN offers to pay out as you build that organization. And for single line accounts in your business, it's anywhere from $1.44 up to $1.82. If it's a multi-line account, it could be anywhere from $2.24 to $4.80 every month when that customer account pays their bill. Let me translate that into what that might actually look like. Here's an example. All right. If you were to go out and get 75 customer accounts at the 20, now that would be 20% commissionable, because those 75 customer accounts could be 600 points. All right. So you're well over the 75 points that you would need to get everything. And you'd also have the 20% commissionable value on your personal efforts. So 75 personal customer accounts. And if they all were on a 4-line flash unlimited elite plan, you're looking at $1,365 a month just on your own efforts every month. That's just 75 accounts. Remember, Jeff, when I used to carry a bag working for Nextel as a salesperson, I had a quote of 50 a month I had to sell. 50 a month. I worked there for 16 years. Imagine what 50 a month looks like over 16 years. This is 75. And if you never did another thing, you're making $1,365 every single month on your own individual effort. And they were all on a 4-line flash unlimited elite plan. Now let's take a look at your team. You build an organization, right? And let's just say you got 1,000 customers in your business that came in from other people that are your team members, right? 1,000 customers on Flash Mobile, and each one of them just had a 2-line Flash Unlimited Elite. That's just the husband and wife, not even counting the kids and the rest of the family, just a 2-line Flash Unlimited Elite plan. You're looking at $3,120 every month for that. Combined, that's $4,485. You got 75 accounts and you got 1,000 customers in your business, and you're making $4,485 every single month for just the Flash Mobile that you did. This doesn't count energy, impact, health sharing, all these other things we do. Just add more and more to the table. There's no limit. There's no cap. Jeff, when I worked at Nextel, I was capped at a certain amount of commission I could make every month, right? There's no cap here. You just keep going and going and going. And honestly, 75 accounts, if it takes you 6 months to get there, is it worth getting $1,300 a month? If it takes you a year to get to 1,000 in your business, is it worth getting that extra 3,100? Now you're at 4,485, maybe a year from now, every month, 2 years from now, and just Flash Mobile business. You know it's going to be more because you're going to grab some energy. You're going to grab some Vivint. You're going to get some Impact Health Share. You're going to have some ID Seal, and your residual is just going to keep going up and up and up. Guys, we have a tremendous opportunity in our hands. And I'm telling you, you need to start thinking about leading with Flash Mobile. And I'm going to talk about simplicity because a lot of people, Jeff, have fear about, oh, geez, what if it goes wrong? I don't know what to do. I'm not comfortable with this process. I've created 2 documents that you can go download on ACN Compass. These are the 2 most important documents you can use to make sure you avoid mistakes, right? So that you have a good experience and your customer has a good experience. Smooth transition from wherever they're coming from to Flash Mobile. The most important one there is the pre-order checklist, number 1. It's 5 steps, and really it's 3 that are most important. Step 4 and 5 are just reminders for you and the customer. But the first 3 steps on this document are critical. Number 1 is check your coverage, check your compatibility of your phone. Make sure this device is able to work on Flash Mobile. It's just a sequence of numbers that you just check, and it'll tell you, hey, congratulations, you can bring your iPhone 12 on the Flash Mobile, right? Check coverage. Make sure it's going to work where they live. And maybe it needs to work where they play and where they have business, right? Just make sure, because there's gaps in every carrier's network across the country, right? We have a wide open opportunity. If they're in the middle of the sticks, maybe they're part of that 5% that doesn't even own a cell phone. So make sure it works, right? So that's step one, check coverage, check compatibility. Step two, make sure the device that you just checked is compatible. Yeah, it'll work on the network, but make sure it's unlocked, all right? So that's a whole different deal. The device has to be unlocked, because what you don't want is a bad experience. Again, when your customer ports over, they enroll, and you go and either put the SIM card in and go light it up, and it won't light up because it won't pass. It won't boot up because the phone is locked. So why are phones locked? Because someone's still paying it off with their current carrier. Maybe they did pay it off. They're with Verizon or they're with AT&T. They paid it off, but did they request it be unlocked? We tell you how to make sure the phone's unlocked on that step two. That's why that document is so important. The good news is, if you're an iPhone user and you're iPhone iOS 14 or later, and hopefully everybody's got iOS 14 or later, you could look right in the settings, and we show you how on that device to see. It'll tell you the phone's unlocked. So there's no mystery. There's no worry. You can confirm it by looking at the device. With Android, you're going to have that customer make sure they confirm with their existing or previous carrier, once they come over to Flash Mobile, before they enroll, confirm that it is unlocked. So that's an important, critical step so that someone doesn't have a bad experience. Step three, you can't see it on this because this is just an image of the document, but it's the second page. Step three is simply the porting information. Another big area. Everybody who comes over is going to want to keep their number. Unless they're running from the law or trying to hide from somebody. You've had your number for 20 years, right? That's how your mom, your sister, your brother, your friends, your business acquaintances, everybody knows you by your phone number, right? I've had my number for 30, 20 years. I don't know what it is. But the bottom line is everybody's porting their numbers. And there's information you need to provide us when you enroll so that we can go get your number from AT&T. It's simple. It tells you right on this pre-order checklist what it is. It's going to be the account number. It's going to be the billing address that's on file with that carrier. It's going to be a PIN that you're going to need to go get, a transfer PIN from that carrier. All three pieces of information. If they're not accurate, we can't get your number. And so that just delays the process. They're still in service with their old carrier because the port didn't go out, but we need to make sure it's accurate so that it's a smooth transition, not a bumpy one. Step 4 and 5 is just simply us reminding you to back up your device in step 4 and make sure you're already prepared with what plan set you want to be on with Flash Mobile. So those are the 5 steps in the pre-order checklist. And Jeff, that discovery form is where you write the information down that you need to enroll, which is going to be the SIM card number, the IMEI number of each device that's enrolling, the porting information. Have it all written down in front of you. Don't scramble to look for it while you're enrolling. That'll slow you down. If it's written on this document here, you go sit down at the computer, you can enroll in 5 minutes or less, and everything goes well because you were prepared. Can't stress enough how important it is to be prepared. You can get both these documents on ACN Compass on the Flash Mobile product page. So make sure you get these. These are going to be your guides to make this thing work so that you can start building your residual. Now, Jeff, I'm going to jump into real quick some key elements that have just recently happened for Flash Mobile. Not every carrier can do this. We were one of the early ones when it comes to this MVNO space. And really what it is eSIM enrollment. Now, this is important for everybody on the call because all this means is it's a virtual SIM, right? It's an electronic SIM. It's not a physical SIM card. And everybody who comes on to Flash Mobile needs to be on a Flash Mobile SIM card physically or now this virtual one. That's how you get access to Flash Mobile's system, right? And then we get on that network with T-Mobile. So you must have a SIM card. This makes it beautiful because eSIM compatible devices, Jeff, now means as you're doing business virtually across the country and you're talking to somebody in, say, California, and they want to be your customer. If they don't have that physical SIM card prior to eSIM, if they didn't have that physical SIM card, then you need to mail it to them or they can request it during enrollment. We'll give it to them free, but it's going to take 7 to 10 days USPS to get to them. And then they're going to get the SIM card, go back in and then complete their activation. It just makes it a longer, more challenging process just because you're waiting. You want your customers to walk away from that enrollment active on our network. No fear, no worries. Everything's good. You don't have to chase them down. Did you get your SIM card in the mail? Let's help you get back in and get it activated. Right? So if they don't have that physical SIM card, that's what they're doing. They're waiting for the SIM card to get to them. In this case, not necessary. If their phone is eSIM compatible, they're going to be able to light up right then and there because we don't need to give them a physical SIM card. It's built into the device. It's a QR code that delivers that information to the phone that's presented at the end of enrollment. Jeff, I'm going to show you a few screenshots and everybody here on the call so you can see it. What is it going to look like? When you go into enroll, if you've done some enrollments, and I heard someone qualified just recently with Flash Mobile, which is excellent. Congratulations. And you're going to see here some screens that are familiar. The first step is to check your coverage, right? You put your zip code in to make sure the billing service address has available coverage. T-Mobile won't allow us to enroll certain areas if it's considered below a certain threshold of coverage, meaning it's a roaming area or what have you. 5G's building out, but they base this off of the LTE network, which is the most vast network they have. So that's what they're looking at. So as long as you pass your zip code check here, the next page you see is simply, okay, let's check to see if your phone's compatible. Remember I told you on that checklist, check coverage, check compatibility, first 2 steps in enrollment. So compatibility means put that IMEI number in. It's a 15-digit number. It's in every single phone. We tell you how to get to it. It's simple. You plug that in, you hit submit, and hopefully you see this message. Congratulations. And if you did your homework up front, you'll know you're going to get this message, right? Because you've checked compatibility before you even went to enroll. So this is just procedural at this point. But that's the message that pops up. Congratulations. Your devices are compatible. Your device is the Apple iPhone 12 Pro. You're good to go. That's our normal 3 steps at the beginning of every Flash Mobile enrollment, right? Check that service address for coverage, check the compatibility of the device they're getting ready to enroll, and then you get this message. Once you click OK now, this is the new enhancement for eSIM, you're going to see, oh, you've got an option. Proceed with eSIM or physical SIM. Remember, we still have physical SIMs and they still work. There's a lot of phones that still require physical SIM. They don't have eSIM capability. But in this case, our system knows that, hey, that iPhone 12, that's eSIM compatible. Would you like to proceed with an electronic or eSIM, or would you like to proceed with the physical SIM? So here's where the beginning of that new path begins, and you can now enroll with eSIM. So you'll see I select that here, and I'm good to go. At this point, Jeff, I would follow the normal prompts of our enrollment of, hey, do you want to transfer your number, and just go through the steps and then go to the end. Here's an example of if you're doing a multi-line order, right? You've got more than one phone you're enrolling at the same time. Say one is eSIM compatible like that 12, but one is a Samsung Galaxy Note 10. We can't do eSIM on that. So we only give you the physical SIM option. So you can do a multi-line enrollment and split that order up. I'll pick eSIM for this phone. For phone 2, it's going to be physical SIM. Then you're going to get the pop-up. Do you have the physical SIM in your presence, or do you need us to ship one to you, right? So I just wanted to show you that you can do both in the same enrollment. Now, at the end of the enrollment, when you go through the rest of the normal steps and you pay and submit the order for the eSIM phone, you're going right to activation now. No waiting for a shipment of the SIM, no worries about having to install the SIM in the phone. It's simply a QR code that gets presented at the end of enrollment, and the customer will also get an email confirmation with the same QR code. So we give it to them in 2 ways. And all they do is take that new phone that they just enrolled, the iPhone 12 Pro, they scan the QR code, and it installs the eSIM right onto the device. At that point, they just follow the activation prompts on the phone screen. It's a beautiful thing. It makes it simple, and you walk away active. Now, that was enrollment, right? That's a new customer coming over, and now we can give them eSIM, which is beautiful. Makes your business virtual that much faster for those that have eSIM compatible phones. No need for the physical SIM. But we have a lot of IBOs and customers in our business that want to upgrade to an eSIM phone. Like, for example, everybody knows the iPhone, or if you don't, I'll tell you, the iPhone 14 that was just released this past September is the first in the industry of its kind, meaning it is the first eSIM only phone, which really stepped up the need for us to produce this path because we could not bring those phones on without being able to support eSIM. Now we do. So it can't take a physical SIM card. There's no slot, there's no tray. It is eSIM only. So now how do you upgrade to an eSIM phone? All right, I currently have an iPhone, we'll say 8, and I just bought the 14, or I'm getting it for Christmas. How do I get my 8 into that 14? Typically, I would take that physical SIM card out, put it in a new device, but I can't do that with a 14. It has to be an eSIM. So you do a SIM swap, and simply you would go to your flashmobile.com page, click on My Account, log into your online account as an existing customer, select SIM swap, which is an option under the I want to menu on the right side of the page. When you select SIM swap, it simply brings up the telephone number drop-down box. If it's a multi-line account, you're going to have to make sure you select the right number, right? Pick the number. It's going to tell you, here's the old ESN that's in that phone. This is the old SIM that's in your phone currently. What type of swap do you want to do? Physical or eSIM? Maybe they just want to move to another physical SIM card, but obviously you're going eSIM. If it's an iPhone 14, you won't even see the option for physical SIM. You select eSIM, you put the new SIM information in, submit, same thing, get the QR code. And now you're upgraded from that iPhone 8 to that iPhone 14. So that's how you do the SIM swap. Guys, we got a lot going on with this business, but eSIM is really changing the business, as well as so many other things we're doing, trying to make it more competitive for you. Our rates are phenomenal. I showed you the opportunity. If you do just a little bit over time, what it can mean to your business, it needs to be a lead product for you. I'm telling you, it's something nobody is going to do away with. And you never have to go back and renew the customer. Once they're on, you don't have to have that conversation in 12 months, 24 months, 6 months, whatever that is, that we might have to have with the energy customer saying, hey, by the way, you got to renew. You're going to go into a rollover rate. The rates are higher, but so is the whole industry. It's a difficult conversation, right? It's an opportunity for them to shop you. That's not happening here. You get your customer on board, you're getting paid the life of the customer. As long as it's working for them, they're staying with you and they're paying. It is tremendous. Along with so many other things that we're doing, we also have device partners. And Jeff, I think I'm going to throw it back to you because I think we have one on here that we want you to talk to and listen to, who's very familiar with Flash Mobile, that can help us out in getting phones for those customers that need compatible phones.
No, absolutely, Greg. And again, thank you so much for pouring in to everybody. I know Greg's going to stick on and do some Q&A in a few minutes with everybody. And I just want to reiterate a couple of things that Greg said. First off, super excited about the eSIM capability, what that's going to do for our business. Love the fact the average customer stays on for 6 years. And I just took those numbers on just a one-line account that you talked about, Greg, just a one-line account at 20%. That's a $655.20, residual that somebody makes over time, just on one line over that 6-year period, which is incredible. So much more that I used to make as a wireless dealer for a store that I spent a lot of money on, which is exciting, just the income earning opportunities. But guys, a couple of things again, just to reiterate. Make sure every customer, before you put that SIM card, you do that eSIM, that we make sure that their phone is unlocked. And also we make sure that they have the port out PIN number from their current provider. Again, all that information is on that discovery document that Greg talked about, which is in acncompass.com under Flash Mobile. Greg, thank you so much for putting that together. But a lot of people ask, hey, I love the fact that I can keep my existing phone, but what if I want to get a new phone? Christmas time's here right now. A lot of people want new phones for Christmas, and we have an amazing partner. Flash Mobile does have multiple partner companies where you can go out and get a device from. But in our household, there's only one company that's a partner company that we're going to go to and get a device from. And we've been using this company for years. This gentleman, just like Greg, field representative as well, built the business with ACN, knows what it means to be in the field. He's the founder and owner of Cell Platinum. Again, every phone that Melissa and I have bought over the last handful of years, we've gotten every one of ours and also our immediate families through Caleb, through Cell Platinum. And Caleb, thank you so much for being on our call here today. And I know you want to share with everybody about what's going on as far as people that want to go out and get a new phone and how that works with Cell Platinum. So Caleb Deibert, thank you so much for being on the call here today. And I'm going to throw it over to you, buddy.
Perfect. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. So yeah, just want to give it back to Jeff and Melissa. You guys have been great. We've been working with you guys 8-9 years now that we've been working alongside of ACN. And I just have to say, everybody that's on this call that's part of the Rockstar team, you guys have definitely joined the best team in ACN, hands down. Love the leadership that you guys have and the ability to work with them. Also, really want to give some props to Mr. Greg Savage. Having worked with a couple of the other directors of wireless in ACN over the years, I can definitely say that Greg has the IBO's best interest at heart. Maybe that's because his wife is one. I don't know, but he's definitely out there going to bat for you guys with the owners of the company, always trying to increase compensation, simplify the enrollment process, and really just cares about the product and the offering, probably more than anybody else that I've worked with on the ACN corporate side. So Greg, thanks for being a part of that, and thanks for being on here today. So yeah, my background, I also came from Sprint. I was a retail sales rep there, and it's just crazy to look back. Like Greg talked about, every month the quota reset on the first of the month. He had to go sell another 50 phones, and it's like, that's crazy. I was selling 600, 800 lines of service a year for them, and the day I left, I never got another check. So the opportunity with Flash is just incredible, and that's why we've stuck around and worked with Flash for so long. As Mr. Street mentioned, we are a device provider. So when you get that customer on Flash, a lot of people are just transferring over their existing phone. But like Mr. Savage talked about, the average lifespan is 6 years. So your customers are going to, at some point during that 6-year time period, they're either going to break a phone, they're going to want to upgrade to the latest phone. And rather than sending them down the street to the Verizon, store or the T-Mobile store to try and get a phone, and then they get poached as a customer, or letting them walk past the kiosk in, Costco, Sam's Club, whatever it may be, you've got to be prepared to refer them off somewhere that they can get a device, and that the device that they're getting is actually going to work. The worst thing you could do is, send them somewhere to get a device, they get a device, and then it's not supported, or there's an issue, and then there's no support to get it taken care of. And like Mr. Savage and Mr. Street both talked about, there are multiple vendors. Now you can see them when you go to flashmobile.com. You click the little drop down, choose shop, and choose phones. You'll see there's 3 different options right there to get your phones from. We're super excited. We actually, with the eSIM capability, we've finally been able to add the iPhone 14s to our inventory. And we've got those available on our website, sellplatinum.com. You can go directly there. You can click through your site to get to it. We've got a little special that we're running. If you're on our email list, we sent out a 10% off coupon for the holidays. We actually have a little bit better discount for anybody that's on the phone today. I'm going to give you a coupon code. It'll give you 15% off any device on our website, with the exception of the iPhone 14s. Unfortunately, there's just not a lot of room there. So that discount code is the word FLASH with a capital F, and then the number 15 for 15. And if you jump on our website, you can see we've got everything ranging, from your basic flip phone at $79 all the way to the iPhone 14 Pro Max. I believe we've got those all the way up to a 256 gig model on hand. I was telling Mr. Street before the call started, we overnighted a bunch of phones yesterday. We had people calling, hey, I've got to get a phone. I've got to have something under the tree for my kids or for my spouse or for myself. And we have that availability today as well. Today and tomorrow, we can still overnight devices, anything that we've got in stock. And we can have it in your hands in time for Christmas. If that's not as big of a push, that discount code will work through the end of the year to give you 15% off on any of our devices. And then we also have financing options available. So we've got 4 different companies that we work with for financing, ranging from 6 months, no interest for customers with good credit, to we also have credit options for bad credit, no credit customers that give them 90 days, no interest, or give them a 1-year lease period. A couple different options there. If you're interested in that or would like more information on that, you can check it out on our website. You can also give me a call. Our store number is 385-218-0999. I'll drop that in the chat as well, and then it's also posted on our website. But you can give us a call. You can chat with us on Facebook, Instagram. There's just tons of ways to get a hold of us, and we're always willing to help someone out. Even if you have phone questions for phones that didn't come from us, we're more than willing to take a few minutes, help you out where we can, because we love ACN. We love all the IBOs. And at the end of the day, we want everyone to have success. But we understand that when it comes to handsets, that can be kind of the scary part of the business. And so we're trying to simplify that and help out. So with that, I'd like to turn the remainder of the time over back to Mr. Street, and just wanted to say, really appreciate working with you. And we'll hang out. If there's any questions, be happy to answer them.
Buddy, thank you so much for being on the call, and just appreciate you. And Cell Platinum has always been incredible. I mean, I know my mom calls you, regular basis. Hey, Caleb, I need a phone for this person. And, you've always just gone above and beyond to help, man, and just really, really appreciate both of you guys. And one last thing I want to touch on, and then we're just going to take 20 minutes, take the remainder of the call to be able to help you guys with Q&A. I believe this has been an incredible call here today, but probably my favorite thing about Flash Mobile is the fact that we as IBOs can get our service for free. And some of you guys may not even know that. Some of you are on here, you signed up yesterday, and you definitely learned a lot of information here today. And, you know, Flash Wireless, or I'm sorry, Flash Mobile is the service that you probably need to learn the most about. You know, Impact, very simple. You pass the lead. Vivint, you pass the lead, very, very simple. So Flash Mobile probably is the service that we as IBOs need to learn the most about to be able to go out and get good at it. But as Greg talked about, the opportunity potential here is absolutely limitless. And then the other piece is the fact that you can get your service for free. So as a ACN IBO, if you have Flash Mobile and you refer it to 5 other people, your bill is up to free every month. All you pay for is the taxes. So Melissa, she's had free service with Flash now for many, many years. And Melissa's just going to show everybody, what does that look like? What does it look like to have no cell phone bill or only pay the taxes? And Melissa, if you could just share with everybody what you were paying before and how much you're saving now every year with Flash Mobile, because you referred 5 customers to Flash literally years and years and years ago.
That's right. So I used to have Verizon. I was paying $120 a month for my single line, unlimited everything plan. Then I became a Flash customer. It didn't happen right away. It took me a couple months. I was out getting the customer. So I love that there wasn't like a time frame I had to do it in. But as soon as I got that 5th customer, I've literally, first of all, my savings alone, I was spending basically $1,400, almost $1,500 a year, right, with Verizon. And since then, for the last 8 years, I've had free cell phone service. So if you guys don't believe me, I just pay taxes because you cannot avoid Uncle Sam. So let me just show you this month's bill. Sorry, this is December 2nd, $7.85. Let me just show you November's bill, $7.85. I'll show you one more, right? We got $6.28 in October. Taxes went up, I guess, these last couple of months. But you guys, if we really looked at it in simple math, I went from paying $1,400 a year to basically $96 a year with Flash Mobile. That's a $1,300 savings per year. How many of us could use an extra $1,300 in our household this coming year, right? So set a goal for yourself to have free cell phone service.
Plus making residual on your own account, you know, too. I think Flash pays you to have service. I love that. But again, guys, it's been an amazing call. We're so appreciative to Mr. Greg Savage, Mr. Caleb Deibert being on the call here today. And we do want to be able to, you know, open up here and spend a few minutes. And we went through a lot of information here today. And, you know, anybody that wants to raise your hand, just do the hand raising icon on the Zoom. And, you know, but between Greg and Caleb, they're here to be able to help us out, guys. Randall, go ahead, buddy. I know you're first there.
Yeah, I was actually just looking at my phone, and it says no SIM restrictions. So that's open for switching over, correct?
Correct.
That's unlocked.
Okay.
Yep.
So guys, Randall has an iPhone. So on your iPhone, you can look at your settings and it'll either say SIM restricted or no SIM restrictions. No SIM restrictions on an iPhone means it's unlocked. Unfortunately, as Greg mentioned earlier on with an Android, they got to call the provider and verify that their phone is unlocked. So great stuff, Randall. Let's see here. Marcos, I think you were next. You able to unmute there, buddy? I know you're driving. There you go.
Hey guys, can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So I recently got some customers on the Flash mobile network, and I was kind of helping them out through the process. And it's actually my son and his wife. And one of the phones was eSIM compatible and one wasn't. But I went ahead and went with the physical SIM option, and I hope we made the right pick, because I think her phone was eSIM compatible, but it can do both. Hopefully it can do both.
If it gave you the option for physical SIM, Marcos, then you're fine. The only phone that cannot do physical SIM today is the iPhone 14. All right. And you wouldn't even be given the option because of that.
Awesome.
So you're good. You're good.
Great.
Yep. And to
Thank you.
follow up on that, Marcos, again, I know a lot of you guys recently just got started. So with that physical SIM, and then you choose send me a SIM card for free, your service stays active on your current provider the entire time. You get the SIM card in the mail, your phone's still working. You actually have to log into that Flash Mobile account and click on complete transfer. And then at that point, the information is going to port over. So I know a lot of people get worried, oh my gosh, they're sending me a SIM. Does that mean my service is going to get disconnected? No. And also another question people ask me all the time is, do I then have to call my previous provider and tell them that I switched or canceled? The answer is no. Matter of fact, you never want to call your previous provider and tell them that you've canceled, tell them I'm canceling, because they could turn your phone off that day. So Flash Mobile will take care of all of that when the service gets switched over. Again, you will in many cases need a port out PIN number, but never ever have somebody cancel their service. So great question, Marcos. Michelle, go ahead. Great to have you on the call here this morning.
Okay, hi, thanks. I have a question. I'm trying to compare apples to apples with mine. I have an AT&T business plan currently, and when I'm going out of the country, there are certain spots where I don't get charged extra, like Mexico and things like that. But I'm just wondering, do we have coverage internationally, and what do those plans look like, or the additional charges?
So Michelle, the good news is we have international service, right? And there is, there's no charge for a plan. You don't have to buy the plan. Where we work, and it's 170 plus countries, you go to flashmobile.com and see what countries we're in. The texting and the data is included. It's free. Data is going to be slow when you're traveling internationally because it's a high expense. So you won't be able to do a lot with your data, but texting and data are free. Voice, you would need to add money to your wallet. And again, you just log in online. You can add a $25 international roaming amount to your wallet. And then as you make the voice calls, it draws against that, whatever the rate is in that country. So you're not paying for a plan. You're paying as you need it, if you will, for voice. And keep in mind, Michelle, you always have Wi-Fi capabilities in certain locations throughout the world, right? Where you can always utilize that for calling and FaceTime and things like that.
And then Greg, like the per minute, is that, let's say that you're in Mexico or wherever Michelle might be traveling, it shows on the Flash Mobile website what the per minute rate is for wireless calls. Is that correct?
Yes, and let me back up on that because I'm glad you mentioned that. Mexico and Canada, by the way, are free across the board, voice, text, and data. So if you're in Mexico or in Canada, you don't even need to worry about putting money in the wallet. It's only for those other 173 countries that you might be going to.
I forgot about that. That is awesome. I guess that's why when we were in Mexico together, I was like, I think Flash is just treating me well because I'm on this RVP trip. I got free calls. I never paid for anything, but wow, that's so awesome. Thanks, man.
You bet.
And I know that we didn't have that when you came on board. So thank you so much for creating that option for us.
You bet.
Anyway, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, one of my questions was from Michelle, the one about the international calls, because I have family outside. But does that apply to countries like Africa, continents like Africa?
It does. It's you just need to check and confirm that we're in that specific country. But you can go to our website and click on the international roaming link and just type in the country. And if it populates, you'll see, like Jeff said, the rate for the voice. And you'll see if we're in that country. There are certain countries where we're not working. That's why I said it's like 170 plus countries, but Africa is in there, different portions of Africa. So.
Great question.
Another thing, I was trying to do the enroll. I paid for the service, but when you want to put in the SIM card, it says enroll. How do you go past that?
So I think I understand what you're saying. So when you enrolled, you paid up front. You're correct, because it's prepaid, right? So you submitted your enrollment. You probably requested a SIM card to be shipped to you, correct?
It's here now, yeah.
Okay, it's here now. So, and Jeff just covered this a minute ago. So you submitted your enrollment, you paid, you waited for your SIM card to ship. It has now arrived. What you need to do is go back to flashmobile.com, log into your account. You created your account when you enrolled. with a username and passwords, probably your email and whatever passwords you set up. You'll log in and there'll be a purple button right there on the account overview page. It says activate my SIM, because now you've got it. You're ready to complete this activation. Click on that button and then you'll see, your phone number in there, and you click the little button that says activate my SIM, and that'll submit the port request, assuming you requested the port, right? And then what's going to happen, Spiwa, potentially is the port might fail, but no need to worry. It's procedural, because what happens is you probably got a transfer number from your carrier. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, that transfer number probably expired, because they only give you so much time, because they make it difficult. That's what they do, right? So no big deal. It'll say port resolution required. Don't take your SIM card out of your phone. You're still active with your current carrier until that's completed. And then you'll just call them and get another transfer pin, an updated one, go right back in and submit it, and you'll be good to go.
Thank you.
Hopefully that all made sense. You're welcome.
And Greg, thank you for answering that question. Again, remember, Speedway, make sure your phone is definitely unlocked. And then, as Greg said, go and call and get that transfer, PIN number. But Greg, if somebody does have, troubles with activation, they're not sure what to do. You guys are really great with Flash chat support, but sometimes people get a little stuck trying to actually get to somebody to help.
Right.
Can you give everybody just some kind of tips on what to do, just to make sure if they need assistance that they can get connected to a live chat support operator?
Yeah, if they're having difficulty and for whatever reason they can't get to a live operator, because they should, we're trying to make it so that we identify within the engine that this person needs a live operator. And then even the live operator, Jeff, should be quickly determining if they need an outbound call, because people want to talk to people. I get that. We have to deal with the chat. But the good news is, and here's the other tip, is we have weekend phone support. So Saturdays and Sundays, you can call and get a hold of a person if you're struggling at all with chat. And chat's been effective for some, and others, they struggle with it. But if you want to talk to somebody live, make sure you're thinking about that. Saturday and Sundays when you want to make that call and get your situation assisted. And obviously, Jeff, stuff gets escalated up sometimes from the chat, and we jump all over it for you. So.
Awesome, buddy. That's exciting news. But when they're actually doing the chat support, they click on activate my phone, and then they can just put in the chat, like, speak to an operator, and it'll route to somebody. Is that correct?
Yeah, they can. There's a few options there, but yes, they can get to a live agent.
Thank you so much. Sean, go ahead. Are you able to unmute there, buddy? There you go.
Sean
There we
from
go.
Rhode Island. What's up, Sean?
Hey, Greg, how you doing? Thanks
buddy.
again for everything you do. Just to confirm on the eSIM piece, if you have a customer that is already with another carrier and their phone is eSIM compatible, and you can find that through Google, et cetera, we just gotta bring them on, sign them in, and do the eSIM, and we're done right there. Correct?
Yeah, just keep in mind, just so you know, there are certain phones that are eSIM compatible that we are not enrolling yet. So, for example, we're doing all iPhones, which I believe is the XR up, and we're doing the Google Pixels. We are not taking on the Samsungs. They may be eSIM compatible in the industry, but there's some issues and challenges with Samsungs. So our carrier, our aggregator, isn't letting those through, because we don't want our customer to have a bad experience until they clean those issues up. So just, keep that in mind. Now, the good news is they won't be given the option for eSIM when they go to enroll that eSIM compatible Samsung. So, the only thing that might come out of that is they might say, why can't I know it's got eSIM. Why they're not giving me the option? It's because of that. We're not allowing those yet until they clean up their experience, if you will. Make sense?
Perfect. Okay, that answers my question. Thanks,
Excellent.
Greg.
Bet, Sean.
And guys, as we start to wrap things up here, Caleb, anything that we missed that you wanted to that you wanted to share? Oh, there you go.
Nope. I think you guys have hit it all. So yeah, just wish everybody a Merry Christmas. And if there's anything we can help with, just let us know.
Thank you so much for that very generous 15% discount. I know some people still need to do some Christmas shopping, so that was really awesome of you to do that for our team. And guys, again, That's an extra 5% on what Sal Platinum is normally doing. That's specifically for this group. And so we thank him very, very much for putting that out there, you know, for all of us. Another just reminder to everybody that people asking the question, hey, is there any contract with Flash Mobile? There's no contract with Flash Mobile. If someone's oh, I'm not quite sure if the coverage is going to work for me. Listen, we want to make sure your coverage, you know, works great. But I love that about Flash Mobile, that there is no contract. One other thing that's very important for everybody to know, to always prepare your customer as you're signing up a customer, is every cell phone company, when you sign somebody up as a new customer, every cell phone company has what's called an activation fee per line. When I was with Nextel, it was a $35 activation fee per line. Flash Mobile also has an activation fee per line. Ours is $27 per line, which is less than the industry average. But when somebody signs up as a customer, as Greg mentioned, it's a prepaid service. They pay their first month bill, and they also pay their activation fee at the time that they're signing up for their service. So just make sure you always let your customers know so they can be prepared. At the end of the order checkout, they're going to pay their activation fee and their first month. And Greg, am I correct that their first month starts when the SIM goes in the phone and activates? Is that how it works?
For the next billing period, yes.
Perfect. Awesome, guys. Well, again, we appreciate everybody being on the call. I know there was a ton of information. We will put the recording of this in our team WhatsApp group, so that way everybody can go back and watch it again. And, you know, make sure if you guys have any other questions, reach out to myself, Melissa. We got Ken and Susie Potter, regional vice presidents, on the call here today in our team. And these guys have gone out and activated so many Flash Mobile accounts. I think in their family, they have 6 family members that all have free cell phone service through Flash Mobile, just the taxes, based on how many wireless lines that they've done with Flash. So just exciting stuff. Again, Greg, Susie, there you are. Merry Christmas. Great to see you. Susie, any last minute advice for anybody? This is a Flash Mobile queen here, everybody. Oh, you're on mute there. Let's see if we can get you unmuted.
There we go. Yeah, you know what? It's just Flash Mobile has been such a great asset for our whole team. The amount of money that's generated, the free service that's generated. But when we have support like we get from Mr. Savage, but also from Jeff and Melissa, just take advantage of that, because that's really what's going to help you to get, to really maximize your residual. And it's a great way to do it.
Well, Susie, thank you so much. Greg, thank you so much for being on. Caleb, Merry Christmas, everybody. Team, we'll be seeing a bunch of you guys on Zoom meetings later on today. We have our product training workshop that Melissa does that actually starts in 5 minutes for anybody that's getting on that. We also have that again tomorrow night at 8:30 East Coast time. For those of you that are new that haven't yet got on our product training, a new IBO workshop with Melissa. And then a lot of people have asked me Saturday morning, are we still doing our team quick start training? The answer is yes. And we also have a first time trainer that's going to be doing part of the training this Saturday. It'll be real exciting. That's 10 o'clock Central Time, 11 o'clock East Coast time this Saturday morning. And there will not be a product training workshop Saturday afternoon. So again, everybody, thank you all for your time. Merry Christmas to everybody. Let's make a lot of residual income with Flash Mobile. How many just want to get paid on cell phone bills for a long time? And that's how we can show our appreciation to Greg, is all of us making a ginormous residual income on Flash Mobile. So Mr. Savage, Caleb, thank you so much for being on here, and God bless everybody.
Merry Christmas all.